All right.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we wanted to start the evening by telling you a little bit about what a community foundation is and does. We thought that would be helpful to give you some context for what we're going to talk about this evening. So, community foundations are grant making public charities that are really dedicated to improving the lives of people in a defined geographic area. So, we bring together financial resources of individuals, families, and businesses to support community needs and to affect change. And so, while all of us serve a similar purpose, each one of our organizations, does grant making, assesses community needs, helps build community endowment. That all looks a little bit different depending on the community that we live in. So in Manistee County, we're really focused on the needs of our local community, and same with Mason and Oceana. So our practices are similar, but the way that we execute our work and the things that we prioritize look a little bit different because we rely on our community members to tell us what it is that they need to make our region a wonderful place to live and work. All right. So we're going to start with scholarships, where to look and what to do.
All right, so when you're starting out looking for scholarships, it can often be overwhelming. So we just wanted to provide a little bit of guidance on where to start. So you should always start with your local scholarships first. These you have the highest probability of receiving. They have a smaller pool. It's just the local students who are applying for them versus a state or national scholarship that have a ton of students applying for them. And sometimes there are just one or two scholarships with multiple folks looking for them. So always start local first, then you can move on to state and national. If you're going to use a search engine, we recommend FastWeb or College Board. And just be wary of any search engines or scholarships that want you to pay in order to apply. Always look out for something like that. It's generally not legitimate if you have to pay, so avoid those. To find other local and state scholarships that you might be eligible for, start with checking with your counselors, so your local guidance counselor at your high school. Also, all three of our counties have a college access network. And there's often a scholarship database or a list of scholarships available on their websites. So you can check in there. And then institutional scholarships. So this means the college that you're interested in going to likely has scholarships of their own. So if you're interested in going to West Shore Community College or Grand Valley State University, you're going to go to their website, look for the financial aid tab often along the top, and read what is there and what they have to offer for scholarships. Sometimes it's a separate application in addition to getting accepted into the school. So a couple tips and tricks, and I think each of us will touch on those specific to our county as well. But when you're applying for a scholarship, always use an email address that you've created for yourself outside of your high school email. So make yourself a Gmail, a Yahoo, whatever you prefer, and use that, because scholarship committees are going to use this email to contact you after you graduate high school. So that high school email is no longer going to work. When you write your essays, we recommend you always write them in Word first. It'll mark spelling and grammar for you. Have someone proofread. Use this opportunity to brag about yourself. Always pay attention to deadlines. So not only is a scholarship application due at a certain time, but there might be attachments that are also due. You want to make sure you get them in by that deadline. Be clear in your applications and avoid acronyms. If you participated in the National Honor Society, spell that out rather than writing NHS. Sometimes the folks who are reading over these applications aren't familiar with those organizations, so definitely write it all out. And list all of your activities, even if only involved for a short period of time. And with that, I think Andrea is going to go a little further into essay writing.
So when you're writing your essay, and most applications have some sort of essay questions, the essay is a crucial part of the selection process and is often how students can set themselves apart. So treat this as a really important school assignment. What is special about you? How can you best reflect who you are? Make sure that you write more than one sentence, and Danielle touched on this a little bit Write your essay up in Word first and then save it because it can be used for other applications. If you write it up in Word first, you can always spell check, grammar check, and you can also have someone else proofread it before you post it in your application. We had a student apply a few years ago that said in his essay that the only reason he was applying was because his teacher told him to apply. He didn't put any effort into answering the questions, the essay questions, and unfortunately for him, he did not receive a scholarship, and he probably would have because he was going into a field of study that we only had a scholarship for, but no other applicants met the criteria. So this is super important. Don't forget your work experience. We once did a presentation at a school and a young lady expressed that she had no work experience. We spoke a bit more and discovered that she babysat for 3 years. So everything counts, paid and unpaid experiences. And Danielle talked about this a little bit too. List all your activities, even if you were only involved in 1 year, because this makes up who you are and shows what you're interested in and what you're dedicated to. So in our specific application, our essay questions, we ask for. We want you to think carefully about your answers to these statements, and committees really look at how you respond to these. So our questions are: explain your future education career goals and how you've prepared to achieve these goals. What teacher, opportunity, or activity that you've been involved in has given you the most hope for your future? Tell us about something you did that helped your community. And please explain any additional factors you believe should be considered by the scholarship committee in reviewing your application. And I want to elaborate a little bit on question number 4. Special circumstances might include family issues you've experienced. Perhaps you had bad grades for a semester. You'd like to explain an event in your life that caused your grades to drop. Maybe a parent lost their job, or maybe parents are already supporting your sibling who's in college. Perhaps you were in foster care or experienced homelessness. You want to note these types of things in this section. Now I'm going to turn it over to Danielle to share information on the essay portion of Oceana Scholarship.
So we actually have very similar questions to those. So we ask about your career plans and what motivated you. We ask about teacher experience that has influenced you. We ask about a time you helped your community or did something for a volunteer experience. And lastly, we ask that same question to list any other scenarios or something about you that you want our scholarship committee to take note. And we often have students tell us they don't have anything to write here, but we encourage you to think outside of the box. And they're often trying to come up with something negative, so to speak, a hardship they faced, but it doesn't have to be that. You can tell us about something you're proud of, a time you overcame something, a subject you studied that changed the way you thought about it, further into your goals or your career choice. So we really encourage you to write something in this 4th question. We often get that 4th one empty because that one is optional, but we encourage you to write something there.
Right. So this is just for reference later on, but I think we wanted to include this chart. It's kind of a quick view of all of our scholarship cycles, so you can look at it by community foundation. So it shows our application windows, other important deadlines, a couple of links in here, eligibility requirements, and then where you can learn more. So just wanted to show this slide quickly as a reference point for you later on. All right, Andrea.
So every year we award hundreds of scholarships to college-bound students and residents pursuing career training. We have over 29 scholarship funds started by generous donors in our community, and last fall awarded over $235,000 in new and continuing awards to 128 students. So it's worthwhile to apply. It's one application that puts you in the running for all of the scholarships that we offer that you qualify for. Our scholarships are not just for high school seniors, they're for anyone attending college. Donors have started funds to help all types of students, those with great grades, those with lower GPAs, those with extensive work experience, those who've excelled in sports, extracurricular activities. If you plan to continue your education in any way, you should apply for a foundation scholarship. Your FAFSA is due as soon as possible. If you can't do the FAFSA, you should still apply. The deadline to complete your scholarship application is February 1st. And your transcript is also due on February 1st. And your counselor can help you get your transcript to the foundation. Now, your student aid report, which is the document that you get after completing your FAFSA, is also due February 1st. So all 3 items are due. If you're just applying for merit-based scholarships, then there's a place on the application to indicate that, and you don't have to include your student aid report. And if you have any difficulty with that, please reach out to us and let us know. Your counselor and other high school personnel are great resources to helping you out with the entire process. But if you need help, call us. We are here to help you too. Everyone should apply, even if you plan to use the Mason County Promise, which provides up to 72 credits at West Shore Community College, free if you graduate from a Mason County school with a minimum 2.0 GPA. Because other scholarships that you receive can be used for books and other college expenses. And go to the next slide. So our scholarship application is hosted on Submittable. You'll create a login using your email and password, and we do not recommend signing in with Facebook as it ties your application to your Facebook account. So once you've signed up, you'll use the sign in tab to log in the future. And if you forget or lose your password, you would need to contact Submittable at support@submittable.com. So Hannah, if you can click the link, this will take you to the page on our website that shares all of our scholarship information. It shares information on how to apply. If you have questions about eligibility, you can feel free to contact us, gives you the deadline and the FAFSA information. And as you go down, before starting your application, there is a scholarship application checklist that can be super helpful for you as you're going through the process to make sure that you don't forget anything, and that it gives you tips and tricks for filling out your application. Also, there's a link to detailed instructions on how to access the Submittable application on our portal. And if you notice, it says Community Foundation for Muskegon County there. We are an affiliate of the Community Foundation for Muskegon County, so they host all of our back office support and set up the infrastructure online. So as you scroll down, it gives you information about the scholarship and how to set up your account and what steps to take to go through the application. And we're not going to go through that tonight, but that link will give you everything that you need. So scholarships recipients will be notified about their awards in April, and they'll be recognized at their high school awards ceremonies. Current college students will be notified by mail in late June. So in closing, if you plan to continue your education, it is worth your time to apply for foundation scholarships. One application that puts you in the running for many. And with that, I will turn it over to the next person.
All right. Thanks, Andrea. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our scholarships in Manistee County. Our scholarship application, unlike Mason County and Oceana County, does not open until January 1st. So if you're a Manistee County resident, know that I am sharing high-level information today, but we will be working with students in Manistee County in partnership with their schools to present this information in more detail once our scholarship window opens. So we will likely be at your school or Zooming in to provide a presentation and giving you more detail. So as mentioned, our window is from January 1st to March 1st. So you have January and February, 2 months to get the application done. That seems like a long time perhaps, but it will go by quickly. And we encourage you to start early and to work on it as much as you can so that you have a strong application moving forward. You can visit our website, the Community Foundation Scholarship page, to learn more about our program and the application. So manisteefoundation.org, you'll have the website in the slides. We have similar application steps to the others, and I didn't talk about our essay questions, but I will momentarily. So we Want you to complete the common application. Read all of the instructions carefully throughout the application. And I think I can safely say that this goes for all 3 of our applications. We've done a lot of work to put this together and try to make the process as clear as possible. So we really appreciate you taking the time to read through everything and ensure that you're following the instructions step by step. If you are going to submit your FAFSA and would like to be considered for need-based scholarships, we ask you to upload your SAR page that Andrea talked about, and then ask your counselor to email your official transcript to the email listed here, scholarships@manisteefoundation.org. So we cannot take your transcript that you might request an email to us. We have to get that directly from your counselor. It has to be an official transcript. And similar to the others, it's really thanks to generous community members who care deeply about your future, even the ones that don't know you. And because of their support, we administer 15 different funds and committed approximately $200,000 in scholarship awards last year. So we encourage you, although we have a common application, we encourage you to look at our list of funds and kind of go through them and see what may apply to you. Again, there is that one application. There are a couple of funds that require additional pieces of information, which again, we will share in more detail once our application opens up. But a good idea to be looking at those funds now and thinking about what you might be eligible for. And then I wanted to share one other quick thing that is related to our scholarships and really the college going process in general. Danielle mentioned earlier that each of these counties has a college access network. I am the coordinator of the college access network, the Launch Manistee Network here in Manistee County. And in partnership with our schools and other community members, we have put together what we call the Launch Manistee Network Student Resource Hub. I'm going to open it up quickly here to just kind of show you what that looks like. And the hub is really broken up into 4 parts: plan, apply, pay, and decide. Those are the 4 major steps when it comes to getting ready for what comes after high school. And so there's a lot of content on this site, and a lot of it is applicable whether or not you live in Manistee County. There's a tour, there's a video that gives you a tour of the site. And then if you are a Manistee County student, we have announcements posted. Anything that's kind of coming up or is happening right now will be posted on the site. So for an example, our Paying for College virtual info series, which we're in right now, we have on the site ready to go. So we will have more information about our scholarships on the hub as well. One of my favorite pieces of this is that there's actually a planning schedule for your senior year, month by month. What are the things that you should be thinking about and focused on to get ready for those next steps after high school? So just wanted to touch on that as an additional resource that you can take advantage of. All right, I will turn it over to Danielle.
Thanks, Hannah. So the Community Foundation for Oceana County has the largest scholarship program in our county. So in 2021, we awarded $240,000 in scholarships, and that was to 138 students. Almost every student who applied to us received a scholarship last year. So we and our donors are very proud of that. They have invested in your future, and now we need you to apply to continue to do so. So we have 43 different scholarship funds, and one application puts you in the running for all those scholarships that you are eligible for. We'll do the work and determine which scholarships you're eligible for and share your application with the folks who make the decisions for those scholarships. So as I mentioned, we have scholarships for everyone. We have scholarships based on interest area, based on career choice, based on the university or school where you hope to attend, and for skilled trades training or apprenticeships. So not new this past year, but we were sort of finally able to utilize it. This past year, we supported 3 different students who were entering apprenticeships. So with a little bit of paperwork after your application, we can get your scholarship to you to use for equipment or tools needed to begin your work with a local business or skilled trades union. So really want to encourage those students to apply as well, as there are scholarships specifically for you. So our application is due March 1st. Similar to the other partners here tonight, along with your application, a transcript needs to be sent to us. It can be emailed to me or sent in the mail. And we also need a copy of your student aid report, that SAR, from your FAFSA if you are able to submit one. Scholarship decisions are made in March upon the submission of the applications. We share them with our committees and turn decisions back around to get to high schoolers by the May 1st decision day. The awards are handed out at your local high school honors night, and we notify college students of their awards in May. So our application is open to any graduating senior in Oceana County, as well as current college students who graduated from an Oceana County high school. We do have an application for adults or non-traditional students who are returning to college or going back to college for the first time. And that's a separate application, but also available on our website. So I just want to show you real quickly our website. We have some motions documents, as Andrew was showing, for Mason County. Just a second here. All right, so due March 1st, if you scroll down a bit, I see I'm getting a notification that my internet is a little unstable, so I hope you're still able to hear me, our lucky Oceana internet service. So there's some directions there. That apply now button, I won't have Hannah click on it, but that is where you would enter our portal. You would create a login, a username, and a password. I definitely encourage you to write that down somewhere. When you're working on the application, you can always save and return later. But save, save, save. Every chance you get, hit that save button. Unfortunately, it's not like a Google Doc or a Word document that it automatically saves for you. So you have to do that work. So hit save as often as you can, especially if you are working on your app and you navigate away to look up your GPA or your social security number or something. Hit save before you move away because it'll often time out. And we don't want you to lose all the information that you spent your time looking at. So under scholarship resources here, under that header, we have detailed instructions similar to what Andrea showed that walk you step by step through the portal. We also have a checklist. You can look at that ahead of time to plan ahead. It shows you our essay questions. It shows you how to create a username and some more tips and tricks. We have a frequently asked questions document. That's going to be very helpful through the process and even after you submit. That'll remind you when you find out. That'll remind you where to send your transcripts, how to contact us if maybe your email changed or your address changed. All that information can be found. We spent a lot of time putting that together, so definitely check that out. And the Paying for College virtual Q&A sessions we're doing right now, that is last year's that's linked, but as soon as we're done tonight, this session will be linked there for you to access this and reference later. We'll switch back to our slideshow there. I wanted to just real quickly talk about a couple other scholarships that are outside of the foundation, but available to Oceana County students. So the Gerber Foundation is based in Fremont, but they serve our county as well. So they have a Merit Scholarship, which is a large scholarship, as you can see there, $2,800. So definitely apply for this one as well. It's open to any student with a GPA between 2.0 and 3.7. That application is due February 28th, and it's found online at the URL you see there. Secondly, the Oceana County Marine Corps League offers a $500 scholarship, and that's not due until April 30th. So as we mentioned earlier, pay attention to these deadlines. This one is a little bit later. So you can work on getting the ones in that you have to right away, and then spend some time on these other ones. So that scholarship is open to any Oceana County student who has a relative who is, or was, if they unfortunately passed away, a Marine. So that can be a brother, sister, mother, uncle, grandparent, cousin. If you have a Marine anywhere in your family, And all that takes is a 1-page essay, but we use the essay word loosely here. Just write. It can be creative writing, it can be casual writing on what patriotism means or what it means to be an American for you. And I wanted to mention this scholarship specifically because they've been offering it for several years now. And last year they weren't able to give one away because no one applied. We don't want to leave money on the table, right? It just takes a quick 1 page of writing to apply for this and get that scholarship. And that is it for Oceana.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. If we have any questions, Alyssa, I don't know if there might be any questions in the Facebook Live. If there are, we can take a couple. I will also note that our contact information is all listed here by Community Foundation. So here's where you can reach myself, Andrea, or Danielle, depending on what county you live in, and for more information. So we appreciate everyone's time. We wish you the best of luck on your scholarships and in your next steps. We know it is a busy time of year. It's a tough time to be a senior. Lots of things have happened the past couple of years, but we are here to support you, and we want to see you realize your dreams after high school. So we hope you'll take advantage of these opportunities.
Thanks, Hannah. And I will just say for those viewing in Facebook Live, if you want to drop any questions you have in the chat, or you can private message Oceana College Access Network, and we will get to answering your questions right away or connecting you to some support. The last thing or the next thing I wanted to mention is that tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, same place, same time, we will be talking all about student loans. And then all of these videos from the Paying for College Series 2021 will be available on the Oceana Can YouTube page. We'll be sharing these out periodically on the Facebook page over the course of the next couple of weeks. And as well for seniors or parents of seniors, these will be coming home. The links will be coming home in an email as well. And then lastly, I just want to mention for Oceana students and anyone really, there will be a Paying for College night at Hart High School on November 16th. And that actually is going to be a night where we will have a number of financial aid representatives, and we will have students bring their Chromebooks, or we will have computers available. And we will have you sit right down and do the FAFSA and scholarship applications right there in the room with some of the professionals available to help you and navigate through. So not only will you leave with a full belly from dinner that we will feed you, but you will also have that FAFSA and scholarship applications completed. So we welcome you to join us for that night on November 16th in Hart. And we would really welcome anyone from any county who wants to come to that. And that's what I have to share. Thanks for joining us, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
If whoever can stop the recording.
Okay, so I did set that up. The Facebook Live is done.
Will you stop
did-
recording though?
Yep.
Yes, but I just want to say that I did accidentally click record to or save to the cloud. So
Okay.
it
Yep.
might, like, I just want to make sure that we don't click this wrong. So I'm going to hit stop now,
Mhm.
and then it might, I'm hoping it pops up on your end. Are you
Okay.
sure you want to stop recording to the cloud?